This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a UAP slash 3i Atlas news update. Bit of a frustrating day here today, but I expected as much, and that's why I didn't watch the full press conference. I waited for one of my very smart friends to get back to me, as well as to hear Avi Loeb talk about it. And I did just finish watching a news clip of Avi Loeb talking about the image that NASA took on October 2nd, but waited till November 19th to put out this image, which really isn't any better, even though I suspect that that's not even the best image they have, to be perfectly honest with you. They are calling NASA a spy agency now, officially. But are you telling me you waited until now to put this out? They came across very arrogant. They appear to be doing everything they can to say nothing. They really didn't do themselves any favors with this presentation. The presenters said nothing new, and they kind of just made the best use of all the talk and buzz that it's been getting, and completely didn't really reveal anything new. Completely downplayed the 12 anomalies, but didn't really go into detail on explaining why people are questioning this thing, and didn't go into much detail on the size of it. And as far as NASA goes, let's play a clip here from the Honorable Paul Hellyer, former Defense Minister of Canada, talking about NASA, as well as Edgar Mitchell, an astronaut who's been on the moon.
Putting out story after story saying they've just discovered a planet which might have sentient life on it. And in the Toronto Star, I think it was, had life could be found in 10 years. This is deliberate disinformation. Deliberate disinformation. Because NASA knows darn well that these things are real and that they've seen them and recorded them, and they've played cover-up ever since. And these stories are put out to fool people like my correspondent. And I finally just say, look, you either have to believe the liars or believe me. And that's your choice, because I'm telling the truth. And that's the only reason I'm here, and I don't get paid for it. So, and he keeps fighting back every time he sees NASA put something out. See, NASA said that these things are not real, and or something to that effect. And I said, well, you have to make up your mind. And somebody had quoted NASA, and I said, well, you're going to have to make up your mind whether you're going to believe the liars, which are the officials, or whether you're going to believe those of us like the late astronaut Edgar Mitchell.
They've been observing us and here for quite some time, and we see these craft all the time. They obviously have a different body configuration than we do, and the little grays, that's the most prevalent one. The reason for the denial was, number one, they didn't know if these were hostile and could we protect ourselves from them. Didn't want the Soviets to know, so they could devise to lie about it. We got billions and billions of stars in a galaxy, and billions of galaxies, and it doesn't take but a few planets around a few stars to have quite a few civilizations.
So who are we going to believe? Are we going to believe Paul Hellyer, former Defense Minister of Canada, and Edgar Mitchell, who's actually been on the moon? They're both saying NASA's lying? Or are we going to believe a bunch of nobodies from NASA that we've never heard of, feeding us stuff that doesn't even address really the issues that people have with all of this? And I'll show you one more too of Congressman Tim Burchett, who is part of this Disclosure movie coming out Friday, which, by the way, I hear this Age of Disclosure movie is good. It's better than nothing, but it downplays the truth. It doesn't actually go into as much detail about the reverse engineering programs as that they really have done. So let's look at Tim Burchett, probably my favorite US politician, what he had to say about does NASA tell the truth or not? About what NASA knows about UAPs.
NASA knows something. They've got something, but NASA, I mean, if I was NASA, I'd be really nervous of what Elon Musk is doing right now. I mean, he's smoking them. You know, he's landed missiles on landing pads, and all they're doing is looking for money. They're claiming they lost all their knowledge to go to the moon. They got to recreate it. I mean, I don't know. It's another government entity. They've got information. They've got footage, but they won't share it. And that they're doing is searching for dollars. They've read the opinion polls like you and I have, and they've seen some of the things. They think, wow, this is mainstream now. Let's get in on it. Typical government agency just looking for funding. Again, we've got too many agencies out there that are doing too many different things. We ought to focus it on one. If it's Space Force, if it's whoever, it all needs to be focused on one. And they won't share. It's just like, you know, your sheriff's department and your police department and the FBI. They're all competing. They all hate each other. And then justice sometimes slips through the cracks because of that. It's the same way with this. You've got every agency almost that has an entity that's studied these, the FBI, NSA, NASA, all of them. They've studied it, but they won't. The nuclear regulatory agencies, they've had incidences, so they've studied it. They won't share it. It's so compartmentalized, and the stigma attached to it. But now they're all coming after the dollars, the research dollars, and that bothers me because they're not looking for it's like the Finding Bigfoot show. If they ever found Bigfoot, the TV show would be off the air.
So there you go. He's basically saying the Department of Energy studies this, FBI studies this, NASA studies this, the Navy studies this, Congress is looking into it, Space Force is looking into it, but they don't all look into it together. And each one, according to Congressman Tim Burchett, wants to get money for their own department. So it's almost more about money than the truth getting out there. But I do not believe that this picture is the best picture NASA has. There's amateur astronomers out there with good cameras that have better pictures, as you mentioned there. And you know what? As much as I don't want this to be something bad, you almost do want it to be something bad on December 19th, even if it means the end of us, just because of the arrogance of the people behind some of these agencies. But at the same time, I think the government knows a lot more about what this thing is. They're just not revealing it for various reasons. And each agency may have their own reasons for not revealing more. And some of the reasons might be legitimate. I was actually listening to a podcast with Richard Dolan the other night, the famous UFO researcher who's been in a lot of movies and stuff. And I believe he may have even testified in front of Congress regarding Immaculate Constellation. But I could be, oh no, I think I'm wrong there. I think I got to mix up with someone else. But here's the interesting thing that was talked about. One of the reasons why governments might not want to come clean about UAPs, other than the aliens not wanting us to, that's probably a very good reason. They probably don't want them to. But it might give governments less control if people believe there are entities out there that are really in control. Because if we know that there's entities out there that are in more control than government leaders, we might not listen to the government leaders as much. And I'm not anti-government at all. I'm just saying there seems to be kind of weird stuff going on. And today's press conference hearing was just NASA trying to use the publicity that Avi Loeb has generated to downplay everything Avi Loeb has put off, but we're going to see when it gets closer to Earth, December 19th, and hopefully more people out there with their own telescopes are going to continue to get better images than this. We waited almost 2 months for this picture. And by the way, they did say in this press conference they were working on it the whole time. They just weren't able to show it to the public due to bureaucratic reasons. So I don't know.